Hello, welcome to Mind Doctor. I'm Mahalakshmi Samson. I'm a counseling psychologist and a personal excellence life coach. Today I'm going to talk about something that has come up as a very big learning from Pastor John Jebaraj's case. And also I believe it is something that most of us has missed to observe or note. When John Jebaraj was recently accused of serious misconduct, the internet exploded, isn't it? There were two camps, one screaming guilty, and the other, there is no way he's a man of God. Possibly, we may also belong to one of the camps. But here is the question that no one is asking: what if we are not seeking truth? We are just confirming what we already believe about him. And this isn't just about one man, but this is about you and me, and how our brain tricks us every single day. And this trick is because of one filter that most of us or many of us may not be aware of it, and that is confirmation bias. Let's talk about it today in this video. What is confirmation bias? Confirmation bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information that confirms what we already believe, while ignoring at the same time anything that challenges us. For example, if you already think someone is guilty, every new piece of information or news feels like a proof. But if you admire that person, then you will question every accusation. You will look for inconsistencies and say things like, he would never do that. Has it ever happened to you? It's because we don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we want it to be. And Pastor John Jebaraj's case serves as a mirror to learn this. Whether he's guilty or innocent, the real question is, are we even capable of making a fair judgment anymore? Or are we just feeding the bias loop? Because this case is not about justice, but this case is about judgment. When we are emotionally connected to someone, like a spiritual leader, we often lose objectivity. We defend or accuse not based on facts but based on feelings. And this isn't just about this case. This happens in politics, this happens in families, this happens in every relationship that we are in. It happens in religion, and it happens in anything that we believe very strongly about. It is also something that can happen in how we judge ourselves. And it is true but difficult to believe that confirmation bias shows up in everyday life. For example, you believe you're bad at relationships, so you only remember times you failed. There could be 100 instances where you have felt excellent in relationships with people around you. But if your belief is that you're bad at relationships, in that context, when you think, you will only remember the times that you have failed. And also, if you think a friend of you is jealous of you, suddenly, the moment you have this belief, suddenly you will feel that every small action of them feels like a proof to you. If you read a news article and instantly believe it because it aligns with your worldview, you will choose to believe it instantly. Can you think of a time when you ignored truth because it was uncomfortable? But if we want to lead our life authentically, then we need to bring authenticity in our thinking also. It is important for us to know that we are stuck with confirmation bias when we are thinking and making judgments, when we are making decisions. So how do we break from this? How do we make choices that brings our authenticity is something that we need to know. And for that, I would like to give you 4 practical tools. The first one is slow down your judgments. And how do you do that? Ask, what is the evidence for the other side? What is the evidence the other side is holding, because of which they are bringing in the perspective that is just opposite to what I have. Second is, talk to someone who disagrees with you. And this conversation is not to argue and prove them wrong and prove you right. But the purpose of this conversation is to understand their side. The third one is, be willing to be wrong. And that's the path to wisdom. And it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be not okay. Because when you are giving yourself the freedom to be wrong, freedom to be not okay, that is when actually you are giving yourself the possibility to fly through your wisdom. So give yourself permission and be willing to be wrong. And the fourth one is, separate person from the principle. You can support a cause, but still that doesn't take away your responsibility to investigate their claims. We can't change the world unless we change the lens we are using to see it. Hence, it's important to understand and realize that truth doesn't fear investigation, and love doesn't cancel accountability, and fake doesn't mean blind loyalty. Let's stop being slaves to our filters. Let's rise above bias and walk in clarity, truth, and courage. If this message challenged you, then hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And also in the comments, I invite you to be brave. Tell me a time when you caught your own confirmation bias so that we can grow together. Thank you very much for listening and watching this video, and we'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye.